Gather over here, guys.
Look at the dates.
Wow.
Listed on there.
I was lucky enough to be selected from the Fisher folks back in '84 for the Battle of Little Bighorn Custer's Last Stand, and we got out there. There was 60 metal detectors, most Fisher users at the time, and they broke us up into teams. We made one big sweep across the battlefield. Then they had grids for us, and we have a sort of a grid up here today we're going to be working in. But we have to remember, out there we were not allowed to dig. We simply stuck a golf tee of a particular color for depth, and then a flag, and the archaeologists did all the digging. Here, if you get a target, carefully extract it, leave it as it sits, and Woody will record it with his camera. Tony will be getting some pictures. We have some bags. We'll identify it, where it came from, the site where you dug it will have a number, GPS location. We have a Dick Tracy wristwatch here that'll tell us exactly where it was. We'll record all that, where it came from, take pictures of it in sight, then we can put it in a bag and remove it for others to look at. The site that we're doing is within yards of where General Washington had his observation post up there. Give you a little idea, down here along the creek was General Armstrong, and General Greene was just north of here, and a couple of those British dudes were across the creek on the other side. And to give you some idea of the numbers, Washington had 11,000 people under his command here. What's it? Lifehausen had 5,000 people over here, and General Howe, famous British general, had 11,000 or 10,500. He sent 2 generals across the creek to occupy Washington's attention. Succeeded very well. Washington placed his people up and down the creek and had a couple of batteries up on the hill over here, watching these folks, while Howe went from Kennett Square all the way up to a ford way north of here, crossed and came down the flank of Washington. And if it hadn't been for a couple of individual generals operating more or less on their own, put a defense up, probably could have wiped the whole bunch out right at the beginning. Where we're going to be working is just at the base of the hill where Armstrong's army was deployed, the left flank of it, and Washington's observation post is right up above us. A lot of cannon were fired, American cannon were fired, because when they captured the batteries over on the other ridge, they turned them around and fired them at Armstrong over on this ridge. So who knows what we might locate up there. We'll show you where the site is that we're going to be working. It's brushy headed back there on both sides. There's a little bit of grass. We can just pass this around the picture. Yeah.
There it is here. The area is outlined in yellow there.
It's outlined in yellow. The tower's back here, and a long strip along the road on the way back. I'll pass this around. Everybody can have a look. We'll be working the entire site. Again, remember, if you get a hit, very carefully extract it, determine what it is to the best of your ability, and leave it there. Call Woody. Woody will be taking pictures. Tony. We identify it, identify its location, and once we have it recorded, then we can remove it to a safe site till we figure out what we're doing with them.
Shows Route 1 here. This is the Brandywine Creek, and this is the battlefield area here. This is where the Americans had their battery, and down here is Washington Hill, which is directly up from where we're going to be hunting. This is General Washington's position, where he observed the troops from right here. So he had a commanding view of the ford, Chad's Ford, where the British crossed, and also his own artillery. His headquarters was right here, and right here is where Lafayette's headquarters was. We're going to be hunting right to the right of General Washington's position.
Okay.
So some of the grass is like 1 foot to 2 feet high, and the path going back to the site. The site itself is near the tower. Is actually under a canopy of smaller trees. There's not a lot of vegetation. It's pretty much just bare ground. So we might be able to clear out some of the area around. Are you going to hunt directly under the tower as well?
Yeah, if you
Some
want.
high grass?
Yeah.
That may be a good spot to use the weed whacker as well.
Basically, I work for an environmental compliance company, and as part of Section 106, which is a federal law saying you have to evaluate the environmental and cultural effects of any construction project, so the archaeological effects, I go out and test for cell phone towers. This one is kind of interesting because they're attaching a cell phone tower to the existing Pico transmission tower. So usually you wouldn't do an archaeological survey for this type of project because it's already been done for the tower. But since it's such an important site, they decided to let me go out, and they were like, we want you to do a detector survey as part of it. So then I enlisted Woody's help, and you all came today to help me. Thank you so much. Like, it's Saturday, very early, so hopefully we'll find something exciting. Anything we find will go to the museum and be displayed, and hopefully we can get a little credit for you all that you found it. So.
And the guys that have the weed whackers are going to need you guys especially to go over there and clear the area out. Please do.